Yes, yes. I'm talking about the
User
update
profile in
function. The
exactly
update function.
like
Yes. I'm talking about the update function.
which acha, in update function. So
It's in
first
our
mistake you did
views.py.
was you. So I corrected some code, but I still think
Okay.
it's wrong in the update
The
code.
problem was
Like first you didn't mention the API URL. You didn't mention the API
exactly.
URL first, so that's why it was giving. So you were giving it was giving error. Now I corrected that, but still there are some code. Like I think that won't help much.
Yeah, I think currently now the only issue I can see now is I while I was trying to make my code dynamic, the way I wrote the code really affected the way it was before. So I'm what I'm doing now is I've tried correcting the code initially, but trying to make my code dynamic now made the whole thing now look kind of scattered. So I'm trying to gather the whole thing now and then make it more productive now. Do you understand?
What do you mean by dynamic? Like
Yeah, so
I'm
it
not
can be
understanding.
flexible now.
Like
Yeah, when
what
I
comes
mean
with
dynamic,
dynamic? Like dynamic.
yeah, okay, now listen. It can be flexible and easily reusable. Like when I talk about dynamic, I'm talking about the API URL, our endpoint. So that like I was talking to Sarah yesterday. He said that there are some APIs, there are some that this some of our pages are going to be returning some particular API. That not all of them is going to be having a particular API. Like it's going to be returning the particular API. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's what that when I confirmed that from yesterday. So I was trying to now make my code more dynamic in the sense that it can be reusable and then I shouldn't be able to repeat codes all the time, and so it can be more flexible when like in future times when there's
Mm-hmm.
corrections, you don't have to start rewriting the code over and again, over and again, over and again. Do you understand now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hey, good morning,
So
sir.
Yes, yes, I am
Hello.
listening to what it is working.
Hello.
Just working. दीपक आवाज आ रही है?
Good morning, sir.
yeah.
So it is working now or what is going on?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Organization form is working.
Okay. Organization form is working. There's no issue with organization form. Organization form have been working. But my issue now, the issue like I was trying to rectify, well, why yesterday I was trying to talk to you because of my
Yes,
network was
show your code. Yes, show code. It
okay.
should be better.
Okay. Okay. Let's go invisible now. Can you see my screen? Hello.
Loading. Loading. It is loading. It's visible.
Okay. This is the code I was talking about now. Can you see my screen? Can you see it now?
Not properly. Yes, yes, I can see.
Can you see my screen now, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. For this update function now, I need to I needed to clarify something from you, sir. This API here, this our API here, right?
Yes.
This API, if I'm going to returning this API should be getting information from the this our this sorry, getting information from this, returning back to this API, right? These are our
No, no.
endpoints.
No. The URL 8787 is you
Okay.
will use for update. Okay. This one is for update. 87 is for
Yes, this is
updating
updates. This is
profile.
updates.
And this 89 is for getting the user. How to get the user? It is 89.
Okay, to
User,
get
how
the
to
user.
identify user? This is get the user API URL. Okay. And 87, this one is for updating. You can't even see the URL here. It is written profile update, and here 89 it is written user info.
Okay. All right.
इसमें सब जगह API URL ऐड कर दिया है पता
Sir?
So you added everywhere this thing API URL and URL.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you just said.
Everywhere you added this API URL.
So I okay. I just returned. I returned the API. Returned the URL. That was for our updates here, and then I for the function here. I mean for the user profile. I'm using this also. This is the function API now. Sorry, this is the user profile.
तो क्या दिखा रहा है यार ये? Scroll down what you are showing me.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Scroll down to main function. So you are comment what are the बीच में से the code is on email. It is working now. I think it is working, right? Deepak?
Yes. This is working, and
Oh,
this code is working.
yes.
And like
Function is not calling here, right?
function is not.
You have to change your function. Okay. I mean, that function is not needed anymore because they will changing these APIs. They are giving us APIs now. So we have to write like this.
One more doubt, like Rahul. So in user profile we have the this first name, last name, and phone number are changing. But if you want to change, let's say product ID or something like that, so I think we need different API to update, right?
We need different API. That they will provide us. They will. Nagraj and they will provide us.
Okay. So there are like when we try to create the new update function, so there will be the like three variables: one session ID, one data which needs to be updated, and one is which API to use. So these three arguments should be taken. You like this in update function.
No,
Because API is also
that we
changing.
have to identify which API we have to use. Okay, from the code we have to identify it. Okay, that we
From
only
code
get
means?
session ID. Okay? Means that we have to check now. Means this form if only profile update is there, then we will use this current API, 193 API. Okay. If device ID and those form will be submitted, then we'll use different API for form submission. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, na? Like in update function that Neul has written, so we can give three arguments. One is API URL, one is the data that needs to be updated, and one is session ID. So with that, we can
Yes.
like write a dynamic function
Exactly.
that it can take like for different different data, different forms. It will take different API URLs. We have that freedom,
Oh.
right?
Mark, do you mean something like this?
Current,
You mean something like this, right?
current function doesn't take the API URL consideration.
API URL.
Ah.
API URL we have to hard code. Okay. This is like
So API
hard,
URL.
we can,
hard code we don't have right now, but API will provide us. Nagaraj ne.
for right now,
We
we
have
can,
to hard
we
code
can
it.
give the
And it is handled via form. Okay. Form is valid, you are taking the if position. So there that position it is validated.
So wait, excuse me, can you hear me, Rahul?
Noise here.
Okay. If we're going to be returning this, because yesterday when we were talking yesterday, I was like, it's very conducive and very better for us to start writing our codes dynamically. So writing this thing dynamically now. So if I'm to return this API now, I think I should pass API as an argument here. I think I should pass an argument so it can be flexible and reusable after now, especially for corrections. So that was what I was trying to maybe.
Not this. Correct.
So
It can be done in that function itself.
you say
Yeah, that can be done in that function itself. Okay.
yeah. So I can pass it like this, right?
Right.
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 Okay. Okay. So doing it this way now, I'm not writing it dynamically. I'm not hard coding it again. I'm now writing it dynamically now. Okay.
And then it is correct. Okay, you will call this function. Okay, then form is submitted. Then it is correct. Otherwise, if you write view like this, if you get URL from view, it is not correct.
No. Like our main function is not update function, na. Our main function is
View
that
function,
user
some
profile,
other,
and then we call this get function. In user profile function, we will call update function, and it will update automatically. This like we have already written the code. Na. I don't think it won't be an error there. Like it will be dynamic code as well and small code.
We're not yet calling. We're not yet calling the update function yet.
No. I will call it. In user profile, I will call it. Like in input form, I haven't called it, but I will call that function.
Okay. So currently now, like this, our user profile now, we have no issue with this user profile now, right?
Yes. This is our main function. Like we are giving all the forms are rendered from here, and all the data needs to be updated here. So we have to call pre-form. We have to call this update function that you have written, and we have to give three arguments.
This user profile, right?
Yes.
So we are passing three arguments here now for this our updates, right?
For every form we have to pass these three arguments, like which information to update.
And you can also remove these login confirmation update function. It is done in
which one? Line what?
Scroll up. It is done in the view part. Okay. User confirmation, user details. It is done. You will get user data, whatever user is updating here in update function. So you don't need 10001 4. No, you don't don't need 1000093. Okay,
This
938989 you don't need.
I
Only
don't
one
I don't
API
get I
will
don't
be
I
there.
don't get it.
Yeah, this is
So
not
what do you
needed. Okay, 89 in your function. In update function, it is not needed, but in view function, it will be needed because we have to identify the user. Yeah, you can use these constants like this. You don't need to get API URL as API URL as argument.
so we should then call it on our user profile. We should call it here, right? It's okay here, right?
Here it is correct. Okay.
Okay.
No. Here it is correct. Here it is correct. User we have to identify via session ID. It is correct. But then code will go, form will be submitted. Okay. So form is submitted. So update function will be called. So in update function you don't need user confirmation. It's called by this function itself. There you only have to call the update.
No. There is one in update function also. We need user ID, right? To update things.
That you will pass when you call this update.
So
The
instead of
update
API
here,
URL,
everything you will need. You need is coming from your update field. Okay. And
in
session ID.
update we need to
Yes.
pass the user ID, na?
Session ID is also needed here. Only update field is
Session
needed.
ID. Why we need session ID?
You don't need session ID in this function. The update function.
In update field, no need session ID and API URL, but we need user ID, so we can directly pass in the update function.
Coming include that
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. I cannot hear you. Hello. Your voice is breaking. I can't hear you. Fuck. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Now look at now.
I also.
Okay. Listen. I'm trying to update. If I click on this now, we are still getting this particular error. This particular error is still coming up. I don't know why it's error is still coming up.
It's for us. Like I think we haven't added any profile. I think we haven't updated our profile. Maybe because of that, it doesn't have any data. So that's why it is coming error. So what you do? You add different session ID.
I should add different session IDs.
No, not here, not in the code, not in the code. So go there, where the error was there. There is this session. Check URL up in the top. There is this session ID call thing, na?
Yeah,
In the
this
top,
session ID. Yes.
URL. Look at the URL.
Yeah, right.
Not here. Above, like the address bar.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with this. Yeah, they are both the
So
same thing.
this session ID is your session ID, but it won't work for us. We have to use the Rahul session ID. Like he has the updated data. So I am giving you this session ID that you use that session ID instead of yours. So it will be.
correct. Use this one also. This one. So,
What do you say?
from your end,
What do you say?
password is updating.
I am saying change the session ID in the address bar. I am giving to you. I send to you. I send it to you.
Okay, send it to me. Let me see it.
टेस्ट कर रहे हैं ना सिर्फ.
Hmm. Instead of your session
Okay,
ID,
this
put
one.
this one.
So instead of this, I should just put this, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because this was this is one of the major issues I was having yesterday. So just making me confused and oh yeah, I think that's it now. So now what we now have to do is right. We're still going to pass three arguments and these are
Like
updates,
this,
right?
change the. So what I was saying that there is no need for API URL here. We just need to pass user ID. The Rahul was saying that we don't need API URL.
Rahul just said that
Yeah. So instead
if
of
we don't
API
use
URL, what?
how we going to update it on our user profile? Because we are trying to make it dynamic now, not just
So
hard
for
coding.
user, yes. So
And Niyol, hello.
So instead of API URL, we just need user ID.
Just need user ID and update.
API URL,
Only two
we
arguments.
require API URL to get the user information, right? So we have already have user information. We just need to give user ID as an argument. That
Yeah,
we need
not
user ID
session ID,
here.
user ID.
So if we don't
user
have
ID.
API URL, so directly we can
Okay.
take as a argument like user ID argument.
तो इसको 10 बार समझाना
This
पड़ेगा.
user ID. So
Here don't
in update field
change
there will be
code.
3 arguments, but instead of API URL we will give user ID as an argument.
So how many arguments are we passing here now?
3.
Oh, wait, I am changing.
Like in update field change, give one more argument user ID.
Okay.
And remove this code from code 90 line number 90 to 94. So now
How do you calling them?
we
I'm going to
have
be
to
calling
pass this now we have to pass this and change the here also in 105 in line number 105 there is this user underscore ID to write it as a user ID like how you have written in the argument. No, not like that. Same like the argument name. Correct. So now I think it will be correct. Scroll down,
Yes,
scroll down,
okay.
scroll down. Let me see. Scroll down. One more thing. Now I think this URL is also changing for different forms, right? This API profile update will be different for
Yeah.
different forms.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
think our fourth argument will be URL because it is changing for different forms. So we have to take it as an argument.
So I should still pass it here. We are having four
Simply pass it
arguments
here.
now.
Yes, and comment out this URL that in line 87, line number 87.
Okay, because I already
We are
connected already. Okay.
now
Comment
scroll down,
87,
scroll down.
88 also. 88 also
See
comment
what
and
other things you
remove
have written
session
in
ID.
the update field.
Yeah, comment it.
Yeah.
Remove session ID from argument.
Scroll down.
Okay.
URL. Okay. correct.
Okay. Arey, session ID also we don't need.
But
हाँ,
how are we
scroll
going
down
to
ना.
pass?
Let me see.
हो गया सब. Okay. Now return the response.
In payload also we now need to change, like we don't have to pass update like this.
We
Payload.
don't need update like
Payload.
this. We need to update like what is API calling.
I guess we
This
we
you
don't
can comment
user
here
ID.
below. You already written right? नहीं ये तो जरूरत. वही तो मैं बोल रहा था यूजर आईडी वगैरह वो फॉर्म में जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी. ओनली अपडेट फील्ड जरूरत पड़ेगी और यूआरएल की जरूरत पड़ेगी. बस न्यू योर पेलोड दिस पेलोड will change. Okay, new payload is there. On this old data we don't need.
I understand. What I say now, that our payload, are we not using this payload again?
Yeah.
What I was saying that this payload function, like we have written in this way, is no longer needed, I guess. We just have to, if you go to line number, we just have to pass the data
So,
directly
just-
the update fields that we have written.
And there below it is.
Remove code
Is
from
there.
96 to 96 to 109. 109.
Now full remove करो. Full remove करो. ये पूरा comment कर दो. Comment everything these things. Headers, response also, and scroll down. There is code already.
In headers.
Scroll down.
No.
No. Scroll down.
Headers.
Scroll down. See just one. See it is there.
Okay.
Scroll down
Header.
there.
Header
It
you
is
remove,
already
right?
there.
So you're not there.
In your profile it is not there. There it is. I just
Let me see. This screen is flickering.
saw it.
Go to update now. Update.
156 to
Update function only.
156
My head-
to
my head-
180. There is a code. Okay.
Okay.
These also. Why did you write all these things in update again?
No, it's not under updates.
Okay.
It is just having no
Okay.
function.
Remove this. Remove this API URL here. This code is, I think, correct one.
But this URL is incorrect,
This
but this code is correct.
API URL. And this user
This is
user
our
profile
API
data
we're using.
here.
Yes,
So
that
no.
is
This user profile.
there above.
Listen, this user profile data we are already giving as an argument, so we don't need here in our function, because this is
But
will
in
be
this
changing for
way we
every
have to
form.
pass.
Right.
Don't write
In update field we are giving, we are passing it as a argument.
Yes. Everything we are getting.
The passing user wait. The passing
Update
now
field.
updates. This is the only thing we are passing.
Update field is the data that we wanted, right?
Yes.
So this will be different for different forms, and this update field you have written user profile data. This is only for one form, that is input form, but for other forms it will be different. So
But
remove
that
that.
format is correct now.
Exactly.
Format is correct now.
This argument is
Try to change it according to your
which argument
you
again?
guys discussed earlier.
I'm not understanding.
I'm not getting what you're saying now.
I'm saying they remove this user profile code, like from 158 to 174. Remove this as well. Okay. 1 minute. And then this response is instead of API URL, write URL. Just write URL. Okay. And then there is indentation error here. So in line 176, it is giving error. No? remove this also, response.status code. Why we don't need this, I guess. 178 to 181.
Remember, we are passing it. Can you hear me? Remember, we are meant to.
Yes.
Remember,
Ah,
see, this is our update. See what I'm trying to say. Wait.
Everything came to in just one line.
Okay. Okay. See what we are passing here. We are passing this as a JSON file now. This is our user profile data.
ah,
But as an argument, our argument is not user profile data. Our argument is user profile.
what argument you have given? You have given update fields now. So instead of user profile data, write update fields there.
Where?
In the response.
Okay.
Instead of now show me other details you have written in update fields. There is this. Why this update field is there? Email, phone, address, zip code. Line 186 to 191.
I'm going to
Remove
take
all
them
these
out
things.
now.
Remove, not comment.
We're not
Remove
supposed
all
to.
these things. You, you are commented lot of things, like it's becoming difficult to understand. Remove all these commented things.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. In the
You were the one
profile
that
update.
brought in this code. You brought in this code. I don't know what this code. You don't have
Not
brought in
not.
this code. This
No, I'm saying in the profile update you have commented things, na. So remove that. Update in update function. I'm saying.
okay. Let me take out this one first. So should we take out this one again also?
Take this also, like it's not necessary, na.
All of them.
Ah,
114. In this code like this.
what? Yeah, I'm not able to hear you. Hello.
Are we saying? Are we taking out? Are we taking out these APIs now? Maybe.
Which API?
But this API we're given user profile.
Yeah.
This like 112.
User profile. Which line? 122.
Yeah, 122 to 138.
Remove. Remove that.
So remove
this
these ones to right. Right?
Yes. Yes. And below also. Below things 90 from. I think we don't need user ID as well, here in response. In update field, we don't need user ID, I guess. Remove that argument as well. So we now have only two arguments.
Okay, but that's because we have now updated our updates. We updated our update field now. Okay.
Now this is I think our update function. This should work fine because we are giving different URLs, and update field is also different for, like, different data will have different updates, right? I think this should work. I will try to incorporate that in my one of the forms.
Okay. Let's see what you have in currently now, eh? We are having these are update form. These are update fields that is not being used now for now. This is not being it's not being assigned now. It's not being used. You know, right?
For every form, we have to first provide URL where we need to update. Like this URL will be the update URL, the information where it will get
Which
updated.
which URL?
In
This URL.
in the URL we have to give URL na in our function. Let's say in organization form,
Hmm?
we
This is
need different
organization
URL.
form.
So in organization form, we when we want to update information, here is how you have written organization data that you will give as an argument, right? But we don't have
Yes.
URL to update here, so we can't do much.
But then what I just did here now was that I passed the return. I passed this response to be update. So whenever I want to update, so I think I should just take this one out now because why I put this update this line 357 was because I was trying to also pass it as an argument too. So whenever we have any update, it's just whenever I call it as a response, it's being updated to the data form. You understand?
Not exactly, but we wherever you have written updated code, na, so we have to need to change the logic. Whenever we want to update something, we have to use update function.
Okay, we should use update function.
But in organization form, I guess we haven't given the API, API for organization form, right?
They have not been given. So have not been given. We don't have.
For right now you can leave it because we don't have URL. Once we get URL,
Yeah.
then according to that you have to write your update field for update field that thing update field variable.
Yeah. So currently now, since we are having for our updates now, since we are having this
Because we have update field,
update
right?
fields and session ID.
Ah,
Yes, yes, yes. So it's updating now from the update fields now. Yes. This is my set password now.